Hi guys, this guide is for non-OFWs and foreigners who are allowed to enter the country, such as spouses of Filipinos. With that said, this vlog will be in English. Now, effective May 2021, the Philippines has increased the hotel quarantine requirement from 7 days to 10 days. And aside from that, you have to also undergo home quarantine for 4 days. Please take note that this guide is for those who have not been vaccinated yet. Just a few days ago, 4th of June, the IATF or the Interagency Task Force shortened the quarantine requirement for those fully vaccinated to 7 days, and they no longer require testing. Now, if you have been fully vaccinated, this guide is not for you. This is a new update, so I do not have the details yet. I might do another video for that, but please do your own research for now. So before your flight, these are the things that you have to prepare. So first, you have to pre-register for the swab test, you have to book your hotel, and you have to download the Affidavit of Undertaking. So first, for the swab test, I've included the link in the description box for the registration, for the online registration. So make sure to print the QR code because you might be asked to present this to the airline staff. I was asked of these requirements, including the bookings, the hotel bookings, before I boarded my flight. Make sure to print all these. Next is pre-book your hotel for 10 days. Again, the airline staff might ask for this requirement, as they did a few months ago when I returned to the Philippines. And this is something that will be checked when you arrive in the Philippines. Make sure you book from an accredited hotel. I have listed accredited hotels with the prices to make it easier for you to choose, because in Metro Manila and nearby provinces alone, there are over 300 hotels and it can be overwhelming to choose. So I tried to include the prices from lowest to the highest priced hotel. So check on my blog in the description box for the list of hotels. Next is download the Affidavit of Undertaking, which I've also linked in the description box. Now, if you missed to print this out, it's okay. When I arrived, they were giving this out. They were giving out a hard copy of this affidavit, so it's okay if you don't do this in advance, but it just saves you time as well if you print this out ahead. And also read what's in it because it's a legal document. You're agreeing to some terms here. For example, it says here that if you don't observe the mandatory facility, then you will be held criminally and civilly liable. So make sure that you follow this and you know what you're agreeing to, because this is a legal document. So during the flight, this is the easiest part because the airline crew will hand you all the documents that you need to sign. So as usual, you just need to fill out the customs form and the arrival card. The newest form is the health declaration form due to COVID-19. So upon arrival, there are certain procedures you have to go through before immigration. Before you go out of the plane, an officer will be giving you an orientation of what will happen next. Once you get out of the plane, there will be temperature checks as well. And then you will have to proceed to the non-OFW area, because the OFWs are separated from the non-OFWs. So in that area, there's basically the Department of Tourism desk and the PAD lab, or the Philippine Airport Diagnostic Lab desk. So at the DOT desk, prepare your hotel bookings or the confirmation, or if you have a hotel transfer, prepare this as well. If you do not have a hotel transfer, that your hotel does not offer that, you can also arrange the airport transfer with the Department of Tourism. you're not allowed to take a Grab car. You can only either take the airport taxi or the hotel transport. Now, once you're done, once you've confirmed your booking, then they'll provide you with some receipts. Keep every receipt that they give you because you will need this later on. After the Department of Tourism desk, you just have to proceed to the Pad Lab desk. They're just right beside each other, so it's not really confusing. There you just have to present your QR code, the one that you did before your flight. Remember that you pre-register for the swab test and you printed out the QR codes. Just present that and then you will pay for the test. And during that time, it was 4,000 pesos. They also accepted credit card during my time. Although in the website, they said that they're only accepting cash, but they accepted my credit card. And then once you're done with that whole process, you can go through immigration. And this is quite fast. It's just the usual immigration procedures. There might be some more questions if you're a foreigner visiting the Philippines, because not all foreigners are allowed entry and tourism is not yet open. Make sure that you have the complete requirements and that you're really eligible for entry. So once you're done with immigration, you can now pick up your bags at the carousel. And this time you can now message your hotel to pick you up or go to the airport transfers, which you've arranged with the Department of Tourism. And before you get out of the airport, there will be a Philippine Coast Guard who will be checking for your dispatch form, which was given to you earlier. Remember that you went through the Department of Tourism desk. They will provide you some receipt, and one of this is the dispatch form. During quarantine, make sure you observe quarantine protocols such as face masks, social distancing. In my case, there was free water in the hotel, so sometimes I would have to go out to get water. And as much as possible, stay in your room. That's the purpose of quarantine. In my experience, I was quite disappointed because the hotel where I stayed was not so strict and there were people partying at the pool area. And I don't mean to be a killjoy, but it's a quarantine facility. So that was quite disappointing because what's the point of you paying for this hotel and people are not even respecting the rules? And remember that you also signed an Affidavit of Undertaking that you have to observe the mandatory quarantine facility. And on the 7th day, a Pad Lab nurse will visit the hotel. You have to visit a lot of hotels for testing. So they cannot provide a specific time when they will arrive. So in my case, they arrived in the afternoon. So just make sure you're ready on the 7th day to get tested. And then they will email the result the following day, around after 24 hours. Now, previously, once you're tested, you're okay, but now you have to complete the 10 days. So after you've received the test, you still have to complete 10 days of hotel quarantine. Forward the result to the hotel because they will be giving you the clearance to go home after the quarantine is over. Now, once you're done with quarantine, arrange your transport going home. This time you can now take Grab or you can ask someone from home to pick you up. And there's also a requirement to report your LGU or local government unit, but this was quite unclear to me. I did that. I did call my LGU, but they seem to be unaware of the process and they just told me to go home as long as my result is negative. So I guess the LGU requirement differs. So just call them to make sure that you can go home. And once you're home, make sure to observe another 4 days of home quarantine. Again, you signed an Affidavit of Undertaking that you will be observing quarantine. So just follow this for your own safety and for those around you. So this is it for the arrival procedure. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below and I'll try to answer your question as soon as possible. Thank you.